Hi, thanks for joining me at Stampin' Storytellers today. I have an update on our Stampin' Up! Catalog. So our last chance products list was released from Stampin' Up! On April 24th. And this is the list that is available that we're given. But the easiest way to shop this list is just by going to the website. If you go to stampinstorytellers.stampinup.net, and then the top left hand corner there's a category. This is last chance products. Click on that and it'll show you everything on this list, but with the images. This list is really hard to go through. It's really extensive. It looks like more is retiring than it actually is, because if we have a bundle such as Grace's Garden, if we have a bundle like this, if this was retiring, it would list the stamp set and the dies and the bundle all separately as retiring, because each item code retires. So when you're looking through your pages here, or your index here, here's the on this page. So even the suite, so this suite, the only thing that's carrying over is the stamp set. I have my catalog marked with continued and discontinued. So when everything's listed on here, there's going to be a number for the suite that's discontinued. Then the stamp set carries over, so that's obviously not going to be on the list. But there's a bundle that's the stamp set and the embossing folder and dies. So that bundle number, which is this one here at the bottom, that number is going to be listed. And then of course there's a separate one for the DSP and the, what's this called? The woven threads trim. The sequins continue though. So it looks like lots is retiring, but don't panic. Just go through the last chance section on the website, and that'll give you the best idea without having to squint at those little words on the tiny printout that we are given. The font on there is pretty small. And then if you have any questions, of course, just email me. So to get to today's project, I'm using 3 stamp sets that are going to be retiring: Beautiful Bouquet, Grandma's House, and Artisan Textures. One project, 3 retiring stamp sets. In my mind, 3 must-haves, because look at this adorable card. And when you open it, it holds a gift card. So based on your sentiment, this is a congratulations on your new home card. And then obviously you don't have to give them a Tim Hortons card, but you can give them any gift card, will fit in this pocket. And let's get started. So we're using a kind of an odd color combination for me, because I really don't like yellow. But look, 3 yellows. So I have So Saffron, Crushed Curry, Mango Melody, Old Olive, and Soft Suede. And then we're also using crumb cake cardstock. So the first step will be on a scrap of crumb cake. You want to use your layering or your stitched shapes dies, the largest and the second largest circle, and run these through at the same time. And that's what's going to get you this narrow circle. So that will be step 1. Then on a scrap of Whisper White, I have 2 because mine's kind of small. I don't have any of these mounted. So we're going to stamp the houses in Soft Suede. And this we're going to cut out with, or die cut with, the same second largest circle. So that is going to be die cut like this. Then we'll also need, out of Whisper White, these dies. I take them off my big magnetic board when they're retiring so that I can remember to use them before they retire. We're also going to die cut just in white a bow and a leafy branch. We'll set that aside. Then on this piece, we are going to stamp the vase handle thing, the vase wrap in Flirty Flamingo. Oh, I didn't even have that out. We're also using Flirty Flamingo. So we'll stamp that, and that'll be die cut out. I think that's all we're using that for right now. Then a Simply chamois. If you don't have one of these, you also need one. They're not retiring, but I use mine all the time. Then in So Saffron, we're going to stamp, oops, this flower here, and we'll stamp that 2 times. And just remember to leave enough space so that you can die cut them. That one was a little light, so let's stamp. There's 2 that look the same shade. Then in Crushed Curry, we're going to do the smaller flower. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Hidden, not in the right spot. This stamp set has so many pieces. You can do endless things with it. So we need 3 of those little flowers. And then we need 2 of the centers. This little center here, and I'm going to do that in Mango Melody. There we go. 2 over there. And on a sentiment strip, we'll use the Congratulations stamp in Old Olive. Wash this, put it back. I'm sure some of you are itching to organize that stamp case of dies and stamps, but for right now, it works. So we'll stamp this Congratulations just on a narrow strip of cardstock left over from cutting our card layers. So I believe that's all we need. I'll die cut all this with these images. So there's the dies that match each flower, and then the vase one here. So I'll die cut all those and I will be right back. Okay, so I have die cut all those pieces. So this is a leftover scrap. Then I have my crumb cake layering piece. So we're going to keep this piece for our card. This piece is a perfectly good circle. Just save that for another project. Then we have our house die cut with a circle and our bow. And this leaf. You can also use your die brush to get these out. There we go. And then while I was over there, I also embossed just a strip of So Saffron with the Ornate Floral Embossing Folder. Is a new product coming that you can order right now. It's a pre-release from our new annual catalog. This strip is 1.5 inches by 4.5 inches, and we're just going to trim off the ends. So now I have all my little pieces here. The first step is I'm going to cut one of these flowers. I'm just going to cut off these 2 petals. We don't need those. And I will adhere the flower center. There we go. To this one. And this one. If you don't have a take your pick tool, you need one. They are not retiring, but you still need one. Oops, that got stuck to my finger. We'll leave that alone and let it dry. Now with our bow, that is just white, and then our leaves that are just white. I'm going to use the texture imagey here for both. So we'll start with Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to ink it up and stamp it right over top of that bow, and then peel it off, and it gives you a textured like bow. So it keeps some of that white but still makes it stand off of our card a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing in Old Olive on our leaf. Make sure you clean your stamp in between. And this one I'm going to stamp a few times to get different shades. You could almost make like camo leaves with this stamp if you wanted. So just like that, and then you get that nice textured look, just starting out with Whisper White cardstock. So now I have these pieces are all for the front of our card. This piece is for the inside, so we'll save that just off to the side. I'll start by putting some dimensionals on the back of this piece. Where did my little ones go? Here. And these are just the right size so that you don't see them on the edge. You could also use our foam adhesive strips and just curl it around in a circle. We'll do 2 more just to make sure it holds up. So we can put that to the side. I'm going to color the heart with dark Flirty Flamingo Stampin' blend. You could color the whole house, but if you're mass producing these with different sentiments, I am probably too lazy to color all of those, all those houses. Then I'm just going to do the roof in light soft suede, and then the chimney and the door frames, I guess. There we go. So that's all the coloring I'm going to do on the house. Then I have a piece of So Saffron that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, and I'm going to use this textured stamp this time to make the background. So I'm going to stamp So Saffron on So Saffron cardstock, but stamped off. So I'll ink it up, stamp off, and then stamp. So see how light it is? It's not going to be too in your face. We just want it to be subtle in the background. Oh, that one got a little heavy. Let's see. I'm going to flip it over because that won't be covered. There we go. Then I'll take that strip that I had embossed, and I'm going to adhere that on an angle across here. Cut off the edge. If you watch any of my other videos, it's way easier to do this than to try and measure at an angle and make sure that it's actually straight on both sides. So that's the easiest way. Your waste is very minimal still. So then I'll take, oh, and I glued it to my sheet. Then I'll take that and glue it onto a layer of soft suede that is 5 1/4 by 4. Center that on there. And those colors just look so good together. Very summery with, I always see sunflowers when I see the light yellow with a brown. So I'll take these dimensional backings off, and then I can put my circle on my card front. I just have some extra die pieces, and I don't want those to be on there. They're almost like little hairs. They're so fine. There we go. So I can stick that onto my card right about there. And stick those dimensionals down. Then I can glue this down just flat, but then I know exactly where it needs to go to fill in that circle. Now I can start with making my little wreath. So I'll adhere this one on with a glue dot, maybe 2, just on the bottom 2 sections of leaves, and stick that on there, just like that. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. Then I'll start with these flowers, and the easiest is just to do, whoops, glue dots if they stick. And then I'm going to tuck this one underneath. And this half one, oops, that we cut 2 of the leaves off, or the petals off, I'm going to stick underneath here, just like that. And 2 more of these ones. And you just kind of build up your arrangement as if you were making a real arrangement. There we go. So that was easy. Then one more, I'm going to roll a glue dot this time. So I just use my nail and roll it up and stick it onto my bow and put my bow right there. And then my little congratulations, I'll just trim this end off. And that I'm going to put up on a dimensional on this end. And a glue dot on the opposite end. So I'll tuck that underneath there. That should be good. And I actually have it lined up with the edge of that soft suede layer. So that'll stick on just like that. So there's our card front. It takes a little bit of time just to die cut all those pieces, but it's really not that bad, I promise. So then we'll take a crumb cake card base, fold that in half. Bone folder, another must-have. And adhere this on. And now we can stamp our inside little pocket. So I have a piece of Whisper White. So this is 5 1/4. So this is as if it was a normal piece by 4. And then this is scored. And then it's 1.5 inches past the fold. So it's, I believe it's 5 1/2 by 5 1/4. And then we fold this over. Does that make sense? So when you add it to your card, this is the normal size of a card layer. I just have this extra 1.5 inch side that will fold over like this. One more product that is sadly retiring is this pretty label punch. And I'm going to tuck this in to my punch just to get the first bubble. So it kind of mimics like half a circle, but it just gives a little bit, and that's just a nice little pocket to be able to get the gift card in and out nicely. So I'm going to adhere this only on the edges and fold that down. So now this is our standard card layer, and we're going to stamp. So I have the big branch image and then the same two flowers. I mounted them again while I was die cutting. So we'll start with Old Olive and stamp this branch. And I inked pretty crazily, but watch that corner to make sure you don't get ink if you did the same as me. And push that down. And photopolymer is really forgiving that it doesn't leave a big dead spot when you stamp if you're stamping on two uneven layers. So that's a nice bonus to this stamp set. Then I will take my crushed curry for the little ones and So Saffron for the big flowers. I'll do the big ones first because they fill in more space. So I'm going to do this one and kind of the taller ones, and then these smaller branches we can fill in with little flowers. There we go. So I have 4 of those ones, and then I'll fill in these little branches with the little flowers. So this is a really easy bouquet of flowers to make without using the dies. And one more. There we go. And then remember this piece that we stamped at the beginning of the video with all of our other die cuts. We will adhere that onto there. And then I'm just gonna trim off this tiny little edge that hangs over. So there's the inside and a gift card to put inside, just like that. And you still have lots of room to write your message. Now let's take and adhere that into the inside of our card. And there we go. 2 gift card holders ready to go. If you change the sentiment, this could definitely be any other occasion of card. This stamp set has awesome sentiments for the inside and the outside. Some of them kind of two go together. And then the Grandma's House also has awesome sentiments in it. So again, that's Grandma's House, Beautiful Bouquet, and Artisan Textures to make these fun cards using So Saffron, Soft Suede, and Crumb Cake ink. I hope you enjoy my video today. If you'd like to purchase any of these products, please head over to my blog, use my current host code, and you'll receive extra goodies in the mail after your order is placed. Thanks for joining me, and I will stamp with you soon. Bye!